Hello, good morning, good whatever time you're watching this. It's me, Josh, and I'm here with a couple of quick movie reviews, things I've seen in the last week. One is a streamer, and one was in a theater. Neither of these are really zeitgeisty movies. I mean, I guess it depends on your context. Maybe they are. One is a Netflix thriller called Leave the World Behind, and the other one is an animated film from Illumination called Migration. So first, Leave the World Behind. I have to kind of remind myself to keep up with streaming movies because I'm a theater guy, a cinema dude. But I recently came into a new job, and so I had canceled all these streaming services, and I just resubscribed to things like Netflix and Hulu and even Paramount Plus for some reason. So I'm catching up with some things that I missed, and this is an interesting one. So Leave the World Behind is an apocalyptic thriller from a director named Sam Esmail, who was responsible for the show Mr. Robot, which always looked intriguing, but I never watched it. It stars its producer, Julia Roberts. It also stars Ethan Hawke, Mahershala Ali, Mahala Harold, I think is how you say her name. Mahala Harold. I'm not 100% sure that's how that's pronounced. And others. Kevin Bacon is also in this movie as a prepper kind of a guy, like a safe movie prepper who like hints at weird politics but doesn't really like get into things. Also insane that this movie takes place on Long Island, given everything in it, but it does. So a family from the city, New York City, like, a well-to-do family that wants to get away from the rat race, rents a house on Long Island, which is deep in the woods. So it feels very much like they're in Indiana all of a sudden when they go to, except they do go to the beach in one scene so that something crazy can happen. Anyway, this is a movie not so much about the end of the world from like a zombies or, cataclysmic natural disaster standpoint or even climate change. This is a movie about societal collapse, and specifically a societal collapse that is induced by an outside force sowing seeds of chaos. And basically, essentially, the theme of the whole movie is that America's specific weaknesses could be exploited in such a way as plays out in this movie, so that we are turned against each other, misinformation and distrust and all of these typically American issues can boil over, and the world can basically end. Now, all of that is very cryptically happening in the background of this very kind of focused drama with this family who's gone to Long Island for a week. While these things are happening and they're piecing together the weird stuff, the TV goes crazy, they're at the beach and an oil tanker just runs aground, and we don't get much more than that. We get some cryptic broadcasts and we get some leaflets being dropped from the sky, but then later on those are called into question. Are those real or legit or not? And so Mahershala Ali and Mahala Harold, they are the owners of the rental home who because of everything that's happening, they come in and they need to come home and stay, and they offer them a 50% refund. Anyway, that's the premise of the movie. It's mostly about the interactions of these families. So I like this movie. I'm giving it a soft recommendation. It's very interesting. It's right there on Netflix. It's easy to watch. It's one of the better recent made-for-Netflix movies. Netflix movies are either like incredible once-in-a-lifetime, movies by David Fincher or Martin Scorsese, or they're like lost in a pile of like disposable action movies and weird things and little horror movies and thrillers that just get lost in the weeds. This is kind of in the middle. This is a good movie. It's got good star power. It's got Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke and Ali, and they're doing good work, and it's fun to watch them. I guess where I criticize this movie is just in some of the characterizations. Now, it creates a very dark and like very believable kind of thriller experience or mystery experience of what is going on. It's very interesting. It's not the apocalyptic elements are not laughable. They're actually really interesting and weird. Now, some of them are a little strange. There's a lot of CGI animals in this movie. That part was a little janky to me, but I liked the what is going on aspect of the movie. What I didn't love was the characterization of the players as written. They're all doing good work. They're all, these are great actors to watch. Ethan Hawke is in this amazing period of his career where everything he does is interesting. He's very watchable. Here he's acting against Mahershala Ali and Julia Roberts, and he's one of the most interesting things in the movie. It's just the archetypes of the characters I feel are a little too broad for a movie that's not broad. This is not like a Roland Emmerich end of the world catastrophe dumb movie where you turn your brain off. You're asked to think about some things in this movie. It's kind of an apocalyptic movie for smart people, but then the characters are all types. It's like Julia Roberts wanted to play a wine slurping, Karen of like a soccer mom. She's like a latently racist, kind of bitter at the world, bitter at her own lack of opportunity or whatever. And then Ethan Hawke is kind of this he's a college professor who is like a little bit a hippy-dippy kind of guy, and Mahershala Ali is this kind of initially kind of very scary buttoned up businessman, and the daughter, played by Mahala Harold, I forgot her character's name. She's kind of this extremely woke, abrasive young person who is immediately clashing with the Julia Roberts character. And I understand that you want to have conflict and dynamic relationships in your movie, but in a movie that is otherwise kind of quite believably playing out a scenario of how our society may one day collapse, I just found like it didn't need to be so, the characters didn't need to be quite so character-y, if that makes sense. But that's just me. This movie is entertaining and worth watching and comes with a soft recommendation. Check it out if you're so inclined. Next, I saw the Illumination movie Migration. This is a movie that I started seeing the trailers months ago in 2023. And I think the first one was with the Mario movie way back in May or June or whatever that was. So, and it just immediately, even though I love animation, and even though those of you who follow me on social media know that I love me some cartoon ducks, this one just looked very, I was like, this is, Illumination has all this momentum, Minions and this huge franchise, and then the Mario movie, and then their next title is about ducks migrating. And it has, recognizable comedian voices, and it just seemed like an extremely middling, like this is the kind of animated movie that Sony would have put out. And but anyway, so I wasn't excited about it, and I ended up, we're in January now, so there's not much to see. I've seen everything interesting. I've seen Holdovers and Poor Things a couple times each, so I decided to go see Migration, and I had a good time. This is a fine movie. It's well done. It's very forgettable. It is still weird to me that this is Illumination's next movie. This movie, by the way, is directed by Benjamin Renner, but his name's, you don't see his name in the credits. You see that guy, Chris Meledandri. Is he the guy? He's like the guy, like the John Lasseter of Illumination, I guess. So his name is right there at the beginning, but you don't see the director's name till the end. There are voices here: Danny DeVito, Kumail Nanjiani, Elizabeth Banks, Aquafina, and it's fine. It's fine. The animation is actually really good. The design is really nice. The characters look great, and there's good set pieces. It's nice and short. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It's not like these aren't new favorite cartoon ducks. Like with all CGI movies today, there's some weird design choices, and there's a little too much attitude, and there's too many needle drops, and the same kind of jokes you see in all these movies. But all in all, I was unfair to this movie. I go to the movies every week, a couple times a week sometimes, and you see the same trailers over and over, and I personally get like angry. I get like, I don't want to see. Also, along those lines, I think I've said this before, AMC, the Nicole Kidman thing, it's done. You got to stop showing it. I'm not anti-Nicole Kidman. I enjoyed that for the 3 years or whatever that you've been showing it, but we're done. We're done. It's not even a meme anymore. Nobody even cares enough to meme about we come to this place for magic or whatever. So please, I know you're watching AMC theaters. Please, it's done. It's over. So that's what I've seen in the last week. Not the most exciting batch of movies, but I will keep you updated as I see more things. And I thank you for your time, and be well. I've got a video coming out very soon about movies in general. I know another white straight dude on YouTube telling you why I love movies, but I have a couple things to say about that, as I'm going to lean a little more into the cinema aspects of myself and my person and my thoughts and my weirdness here on my channel. But I also have shorts coming. I have sketchies coming. I have other weird things in the works. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support, either by watching or by joining me on Patreon. I'm appreciative of the attention that my videos get, and I don't want to take it for granted. So thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Josh out.